Hi everybody, it's me, Jordan Long here, and today Jordan said I'm going to talk about when you have problems. Now, everybody has bodily functions, and it's a fun way of sneezing, coughing, burping, hiccuping, and, you know. Now, nobody has any control over these things. They happen when they happen. But you do have control over apologizing for these said functions. Okay? Or at least, now some people say when it comes to burping or coughing, some say that you can control the volume of it. Maybe that's maybe true. But to say that you can actually control the function altogether to the point where it doesn't happen, no, that's not true. But you may have some control over it. But that's to say that if you have a fart, then you have control over its smell, or a lack of it, or of the smell. That's to say that you may have control over the coughing or the sneezing. You may have some control over the burping, how loud the burping is. You may have some control over the coughing, maybe. That's volume. You basically maybe do got control over coughing, of course. Sneezing, you may have some control over it, but I don't know how much. Regardless of that, Jordan said, I got a problem burping. Now, in public, when you do these sort of things, you try to have some control over it, and you do try to apologize for it. When it's on YouTube, all you can do is apologize for it. Now, some people are going to say, oh, that's just like being in public. Not true. Because if it was like being in public, you would not be able to block and ban any reaction or person any reaction you got. You couldn't block and ban the people who, well, they heard your fart, your sneeze, your cough, your burp, your hiccup. You know, you can't block and ban the reaction that the people had over it, or who saw it, or who heard it, or who smelled it. So to say that it's like public is not necessarily true. It might be public in the sense that everybody can see the videos, true. But that is where it basically ends. Sorry for that burp. Oh God, you're burping again. Look, I said I'm sorry for the burp, Jordan said. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, all I can do is say I'm sorry for the burp, but that's all that's going to happen. And then you're like, that's it. Your image is ruined. Your first impression is ruined. Now, if these are people who are going to see you every time, then your first impression of them, or their first impression of you, is already ruined. Not to say that you can't redeem yourself, not that you can't give them a second impression, but normally the first impression is what they think. Oh, I'm sorry I farted, Jordan said. I apologize for both the fart and the smell. Oh, yeah. I mean, you may have limited control over the functions, and some you may have no control over. You do apologize for them if you're being generous or being polite. But that's as far as it goes. And as far as having first impressions go, if it's someone who sees you all the time, it's already ruined. Jordan, I saw you yesterday, and yesterday you burped and you farted. Yeah. And then I got, sorry I sneezed, Jordan said. Oh, I'm sorry for sneezing, okay, Jordan said. I covered my nose, you know. I used a Kleenex or whatever, you know. But I guess the fact that I just did it at all, that's it, my image is ruined. But the truth is, Jordan says, no matter how good you are with anything, you may have some control or have limited control over your bodily function. Now, some people say that you can control the fart. Might be true. But you can't control if it smells or it doesn't smell. You may have control over coughing. You may have some control over how loud or how quiet your burp is. You may have some control over your sneezing. But I don't really think you have any control of how loud or how quiet the sneeze comes out. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm Jordan Long. I'll see you later.